É funk brasileiro.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Cravings and Adventures. I'm Karen Ahmed. I recently made a huge batch of Rechad Masala. Rechad Masala is a very typical and authentic Goan spice blend. With this masala, I decided to make up a batch of Rechado shrimp cakes. This recipe is absolutely delicious. It's so easy to make shrimp cakes, and having Rechad Masala on hand makes it that much more easy. Before I go any further with this recipe, do make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. Now let's get cooking. With great Rechad Masala comes great responsibility. This blend of Kashmiri chilies, ginger, garlic, whole spices and vinegar is every Goenkar's pride. It's a perfect marinade for fish and shrimp, but today I'm going to flavor my shrimp cakes. I'm going to start with 30 beautiful Kashmiri chilies. I've just removed the stems and I've torn them in half to discard the seeds. These chilies are not incredibly spicy and they have a wonderful red color. I've discarded all of the seeds and I'm going to add these torn chilies into my food processor. Next, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, followed by 2 teaspoons of peppercorns. I'm also going to add 20 cloves. Next, I'm going to add some cinnamon. I've got 3 1-inch sticks of cinnamon here and I'm just going to add them in. I'm going to process this first to break down all of the dry spices. This is coarsely ground now, and to this I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of jaggery. Next, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of fresh garlic and a 1/4 cup of fresh ginger. I've just cut both into a small dice so it's easier on my food processor. I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder. If you don't have a stainless steel jar like I do, you can add the turmeric later as it will stain a plastic jar. I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of fried onions and I'm going to add this right in. Now this is a totally optional ingredient, but I love adding fried onions to my rechado. I'm also going to add 1 cup of vinegar. Now Goa vinegar is best, but if you can't find Goa vinegar, you can also use malt vinegar or even a red wine vinegar. I'm also going to add some tamarind. I took a teaspoon of tamarind pulp and I just soaked it in about a 1/2 cup of hot water. I'm going to massage all of that tamarind pulp into the water and I'm going to add that in. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and now let's process this. This is looking great, but it's still very coarse, so I'm going to process this till smooth. Whenever I'm running my food processor, I like to turn it off at intervals to give my motor a break and a chance to cool down. Add water as required to help grind this as smooth as possible. This is now done. You can store it in an airtight container in the fridge and it'll keep for months. I have 500 grams, that's approximately 1 pound of cleaned and deveined shrimp or prawn here. These have already been shelled and I'm just going to pulse this in my food processor. To this I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of minced green chili, and I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of fried onions. I've just run my knife through this to make it easier to form the cakes later. Next, I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of finely diced coriander and 2 tablespoons of gram flour. I'm going to start with 2 teaspoons of Rechad Masala and I'm just going to work this in. Add another teaspoon or so and mix that in as well. For best results, chill this mixture for at least 30 to 60 minutes. I'm ready to form the shrimp cakes now. I've got 1/2 cup of semolina here and I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper to it. Heat up some oil and like with everything, I'm just going to cook a small bit just to make sure the salt and seasonings are perfect. Take a golf-sized ball of the shrimp mixture and flatten it right into the semolina so it coats the shrimp cake on all sides. Cook this on one side. And when it's golden brown, flip it over. Once cooked, just remove it and leave it on some kitchen towel.
Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. É funk brasileiro, é samba de parceiro. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. É funk brasileiro, é samba de parceiro. Funk brasileiro, samba de parceiro. É funk brasileiro. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. É funk brasileiro, é samba de parceiro. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. É funk brasileiro, é samba de parceiro. Funk brasileiro, samba de parceiro. Aqui é malandragem, esquema tempo bom. É só chegar no baile, vai ver que sobe o som. Aqui é malandragem, esquema tempo bom. Pegada de bezerra, patrão, sangue bom. Esse é o samba funk, esse é o samba funk. É o funk brasileiro, é samba de parceiro.
Thank you so much for joining me in Cravings Food Adventures. I really hope you enjoyed this delicious recipe for Rechad shrimp cakes. I like any kind of shrimp cakes, but these ones are extra special as they have a delicious blend of Rechad Masala in them. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, guys. Do share my channel as well as my videos with your family and friends. And ring the bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And be sure to follow me behind the scenes on all of my social channels. That's where I upload a ton of behind the scenes footage. So make sure you're following me there. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. Until I see you next time, do take care. Bye.